I love making a little ritual, a little whimsy, a little luxury throughout the day, even if it is me buying my name brand whole milk to steam for my morning cappuccino. Welcome back, Turkey Tots.
Happy Tuesday. Nice mug.
Thank you. Cheers. Welcome back to everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's another Tuesday in January. We're excited this week because we are just still in the vibe of the new year.
New year, new me.
We've been kind of dabbling in some of our things. I caught Kayla drinking a gallon of water a day as this thing started. It's a literal gallon. I could hear her like glugging water into something before we got going. And I was like, what are you doing over there, buddy?
Trying to stay hydrated this year.
I told her she's joining the Princess Pee Pee Pants Club. Shout out to Jordan. That's what he used to call me when we were in the field together. So anyhow, kind of keeping in the same vein, obviously people are still yapping about self-care. And we've previously talked about how annoyed we are when corporate uses that to basically just justify their shitty behavior and then tell you to take a bath so that you'll show up again on, Tuesday. But we did think it would be worth talking about some just little quick ways that we find just delight or break or a breath in our day-to-day lives. I think all of mine are free, except for maybe one. And they're short and they're little, but it's just the small ways that I've incorporated basically mindfulness into my day-to-day and just made a mental note or kind of grounded myself. Just little things. I don't know. So we figured it would be fun to just kind of review some of the things that we've been doing, and maybe this will help us continue to be more intentional. But I really like the idea of making little delights throughout the day, looking for little flashes of beauty and just keeping a sense of whimsy. It's one of my favorite words.
I like it. I think it's important with everything that goes on in our lives in the world. It's easy to get just swept up into the day-to-day. I feel that, especially working as a full-time person, human, and being a mom. So mine are easy and free, but they may not be super short, but I think you could make them short depending on how much time you have. So hopefully, if you need suggestions, these will help. Also, by the way, I have to say your hair looks fabulous.
Thank
Hair's
you.
looking fabulous.
I'm really thankful that you said that because I was afraid I was going to have helmet hair, and I brushed it and then tried to twirl it and then tried to blow dry my bangs sort of out of the way so that it looked as though I did something. But when you told me that we had T-minus 7 minutes until you'd be ready, I was like, oh no. I hope that you guys listening don't mind this, but I love going back and forth on our lists. I just find it so fun.
We're list girlies.
Oh yeah. And that is a plug for next week because we're going to talk about some of the different types of girlies that we've discovered and the types of girlies I think we are.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to hear your list. Do you want to start first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
We already touched on why we're doing this. And I love that Kayla has the mom perspective, and I love that I can do the no kids life perspective. I think they're probably going to be similar in some ways. This one's obviously cliche because everybody's like, take a deep breath. But that sounds nice and dandy, but what if you don't remember? It almost makes it be another thing on your to-do list. Anyhow, I've made a routine for myself, and I started this back at my old job. But when I walk out to my car, for work in the morning, and then when I walk from my car into my work building, I always just kind of try to pause for a minute and just feel outside. I know that sounds ridiculous, but just take a gauge on the weather. I'm sort of plugging into my environment. Is it humid? Is it cold? I just try to enjoy something about the weather outside. If I can feel the sun, if the sun rises, coming up, if there's a breeze, if there's a whiff of fall in the air, just something like that. So it's not me standing there with peace fingers saying Om next to my car, but just I try to make that a routine. So it's not something that I have to consciously think about doing. It's just a time where I go, I'm outside. That's nice. And as I get into my vehicle.
I like that. I have one very similar, but it's not the same. And so I like incorporating, taking into perspective nature and being outside and looking at the sunset or sunrise, whatever it is. It reminds me, I believe I forgot the book. Habits of Highly High Performance. Sorry guy. Forgot your book name. He talks about, I believe, transition times. So I've incorporated, it's actually on my list, slightly different. I don't remember to do it every time I get in the car, but I specifically do it when I pull into the garage, shut the door, turn my car off, and typically it's been a rough day or a stressful day, and I force myself to smile. I take a second, I literally look so stupid, and I smile because I want to change my energy and my output when I walk in the door to my husband and my child. So I try to get in the habit of releasing the stress of the day and fake smiling until my body feels like I'm really smiling. It helps a little bit.
I like that. I like the mindfulness around a transition.
Mm-hmm.
And doing something intentional when you just same thing, leave your car, get in your car after work, go through the door frame, even though it might sound like a compulsive behavior, like touching the top of the door frame, or I don't know, just doing something that's sort of ritualistic, but something that's a physical signal that, hey, we're changing from work mode to house mode.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. I try to make myself stop and actually pet my dogs. I know that sounds really stupid.
No, it sounds great.
But now that I'm working from home, it's easier to do. If I take a break and walk away from my computer for a minute, I'll try to stop and actually go find them and like waggle their ears or boop their nose. But when I do come in from work, when I'm out and about, I have always been in the habit of ignoring them when I walk in the door so that you don't amp up their energy level, because you don't want them to associate people coming in the house with just being like, yeah, and being insane, which they are. I don't really know how much I'm helping. But I try to go straight in the house and set down my things. And then we all pause. But then I try to actually use their nervous system to regulate mine. So if I'm kind of amped up and up high, use them to kind of come back down and laugh or do something or go outside. When I let them out to pee, I go sit outside and just sit there for a minute and again do my whole I'm outside thing. Because I was in the habit sometimes of I'd go to the bathroom and then I'd look at my phone and they would come up and boop me with their nose. And then I would be ignoring them because I'm on my phone, and I would think to myself, maybe I should set this down. And if I just give them my full attention and like waggle their ears for a minute, I'm going to feel better and co-regulate more so than just doodling around on my phone.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of my last week's episode 2 weeks ago when I said like I'm trying to not be on my phone, not turn on the TV, and just be with the family for the first 30 minutes to an hour. Because as much as it feels nice to just sit down and be on your phone, that's probably not regulating, and that's not what I need after work, even though my body, it's out of habit, but it's not great to do.
Yeah. What was your next one?
Okay, my next one. A lot of these are, this is funny because I just said don't be on your phone. But don't be on your phone when you're having family time. One of my things as a mom, these are now all pretty much mom related, but it's staying up a little later than I probably should to play games on my phone because I just need some me time, and it's the only time. And it's just really nice to sit on the couch, have some whatever. I like to watch creepy TikToks that you shouldn't watch at night by myself, and play games on my phone. It's great. So that's my guilty pleasure, but also just my little me time, true me time, besides in the car.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I have gotten really intentional about going to find Jason and giving him a hug, like just extended and standing there. It started off half as a joke of me trying to hold him hostage. But he and I both can get really busy and just, hustle and scurrying. And so that has been something that I just enjoy. And plus, you're supposed to have a certain number of hugs a day. And I'm sure at some point I was in a deficit at some point in my life. So I am very intentional about just exhaling, using that as a minute to be present and exhale. And he always smells so good between his beard oil and just solid cologne and his hair. None of it's overpowering and strong, but he just always has all these subtle smells. And obviously your, olfactory sense is a big part of memory and positive associations. So some of that too is just nice. It's just like, it's a whole little cocoon experience. And even if it's just 2 seconds, it's not anybody trying to get frisky. It's just, it feels like entering my little bubble for a minute.
I like that. That's sweet. I'm going to start doing that, and Kenny's going to be mad.
You'll
like
adjust.
Mad. Yeah.
You'll adjust. Once I told Jason what I was doing, I was like, no, just be here for a second. I think it clicked. And then I don't know that he's always as intentional as I am about it, but it's just nice. It's just nice.
Okay. My next one is at work, because work, again, is so stressful. But in any situation, if you're at home, if you're at work, if you're at a family gathering, that's just too much. Just step outside. It kind of goes with what you're saying about nature. Especially while I'm at work, I'm very much staring at my computer screen, very close. There's a rule. I think we talked about it. Did we talk about it? 20 minutes?
I want to say it's 10, 10, 10 or 20, 20, 20, 20 seconds, 20 yards away every 20 minutes.
Yes.
30, 30, 30. I don't remember the metric for it, but yeah.
Yeah, essentially, because we're getting older and I don't want my eyesight to go terrible because I'm like this all the time looking at a phone or a computer screen so close. I'm guilty of not doing this, so this is my intention to do this more, but just step outside, take a couple deep breaths, look at the horizon as far away as I can, and just take a second, because I know in my brain, you think I'll just hammer out everything, keep going. But if you really just take even 30 seconds to reset, you will be more productive and more calm, which is my problem. I'm typically up here and frantic by the end of the day. I need to try to keep myself, grounded a little bit more.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I ride that wave of caffeine, anxiety, and frustration because it feels as though I'm surfing, this perfect wave of productivity, but I know it burns me out, and I know I get a little agitated, and it makes me a little bit more quick on the draw with frustration. So I get that. I try to be mindful of when I can feel my blood pressure in my throat and do something to dial it down.
Yep.
Or at the very least, tell myself we're done with caffeine for the morning. And that's just ironic because my next one on my list was making myself a cup of coffee. But I talked about this last episode, how I got an espresso machine, and it just feels so luxurious, and it feels like such a luxury. And I am loving it. I'm obsessed with it. They're obviously not a sponsor, but I am just So I'm trying to be intentional about sort of making a ritual out of my morning coffee time, because I make myself get up and work out, and instead of hurrying to get on the computer and hurrying to start my day, I'm trying to make my coffee, make it something that I enjoy, because I don't want to just be drinking coffee to be a caffeine addict. I want to enjoy it. So I try to stir it and smell it, and I don't slurp it and spit it out like I'm a coffee tasting weirdo. But, just honestly, what I kind of visualize, is Elf when he takes a sip of that coffee and he's like, like he shrugs up his shoulders and just like sniffs it in and feels so it's such a cozy visual. Anyway, I kind of tried to do that and just have something nice instead of chugging coffee because I need to check the box on taking in caffeine in the morning. I want to enjoy it and savor it and it be tasty.
1000%. It's funny because I also have on my list, I don't have as much of a ritual with it, but I'm here for that. I need to incorporate that a little bit more and slow down during the process of making it, which of course an espresso process is pretty straightforward, unless you're obviously steaming milk and adding stuff like that. But I just have sit down and enjoy your morning coffee. So once it's made, there are mornings where, I'm walking around with it, sipping it as I get ready. Not my favorite type of mornings. I would rather sit down, not turn the TV on, again, not be on your phone, which I feel like is very habitual for some people. Sit there, watch my son smile, have no worries and responsibilities, and be a little jealous of my baby, but also like enjoy the moments. So taking it all in and not rushing and actually enjoying the coffee, also on my list.
I like that. Jason has always been very good at that. Before his last job, he used to go drive down to a boat ramp where you can see the sunrise because the timing for his job lined up well. And he would sit there and drink his coffee, even just for 10 minutes before he would get into the hustle and bustle of work. And it's kind of taught me to slow down in the mornings. I like to hit the ground running in the morning time. I'm a morning person. I'm more productive first thing in the day, but I don't need to wake up as though I'm already 15 minutes behind when I'm not. Again, keeping my blood pressure out of the back of my throat. This isn't on my list, but it reminded me. One of the things I've enjoyed doing is chasing the sunrise. It's not working out very well with the time change, but I try to go for a short run in the morning. And instead of just going down the neighborhood street and back the way I had always been doing, I thought to myself, there's a bridge over a large body of water very close to my house, and the sunrise from there is beautiful. So why would I not run towards that and then get to enjoy a nice view and sort of crack the day open with the earth instead of just the same routine thing? So I don't do it every day, but sometimes I try to run towards something that looks nice.
It's a good goal. I like that.
Yeah, just why not look at something nice and refreshing? Why not? It's right there. It's the same distance. I'm doing the same thing. I don't know.
That's cool. I wish I had. I mean, I could. The nice thing is actually I can see the sunrise off of our patio. So I guess I could run down the street. Okay.
You guys do you have some good views in your neighborhood.
We're very lucky to be where we're at. Perfect wind, the perfect sun. It's perfect. No complaints. As a mom, one thing that really sparks joy in my life is a long, hot, uninterrupted shower. Just to shower where I can take as much time as I possibly want. I can do all the things and not feel rushed or like, I guess, is that a phantom cry? Sometimes I can't tell with the water running. Is that him crying? Oh, it's weird, especially newborn. I was like, what's that? What was that? Is he crying?
Not answering the phone if I don't have the energy to talk.
That's a great one.
Obviously not during business hours. Although if it's really the end of the day, I mean, I try to set limits on my workday's ending. Does this look like it's going to be a 5-minute call? Probably not. We can do another task, and nothing in my job is an emergency. So
Yeah.
it will be fine until tomorrow. But yeah, not answering the phone if I'm not ready to answer the phone.
On my days off, what I have on my list is being able to take naps with my son without feeling guilty, because I always feel like I have to be so productive on my days off. But sometimes a good cuddle and a nap, that is just soul giving.
I love that. Another one for me, again, a lot of these are focusing on my transition from work to home, but listening to a ridiculous song really loudly in my car, aka bumping all the way home.
Kailey, music in the car. That's my next one. We've talked about this. No podcasts, no audiobooks, nothing but good fashion old music. Jamming out, loud as you want, by yourself in your car. Love that. It's literally my next one.
Similarly, playing music in the bathroom when I get ready and lighting a candle. A lot of mine are me trying to make rituals of things. Just a little smell good, just a little beep, a little minute of paying attention. Even instead of thinking to myself, why would I light a candle for 5 minutes? Who cares? Who fucking cares? Just light the candle. It's fine. Light the candle. Even if you only hear one song in your 5-minute shower, just making it a nice moment is nice.
I'm going to steal that. I like that a lot.
Or getting those little shower steamers instead of a bath bomb.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, we'll have to do an Amazon link for that in the show notes. They're called shower steamers. There's all different kinds. It's the same principle as a bath bomb. It's baking soda probably, and however you make them, but they're smaller and you set them on the floor out of the direct line of the water, but the water needs to hit it a little bit on the bottom just to get it to sizzle a little, but it'll release essential oils and just smell good. While showering.
I like that.
Yeah, they're cheap too. There's cheapies on Amazon. I have lavender and I have eucalyptus.
So cute. Yes. Link in the show notes because I'm going to get one or multiple.
Yeah, they come in a bag. They come in like a big bag. I think it's $20. There's a bunch of them in there. And I don't do it all the time and I'm low right now, but you just shove one in there and sometimes it lasts more than one shower. It just depends how long you have.
I've started this thing this is part of a ritual because I'm trying to establish bedtime habits for our son so he understands that it's time to wind down and go to bed. So it's obviously natural for a baby, and it's been good for me too because it's slowing me down. So when I change him, like we do the whole thing, lotion, pajamas, blah, 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 new diaper, obviously. I ask him 3 questions and I say, what was the best part of your day? And obviously I will talk to him and guess what was it hanging out with dad all day? Was it going to Target with mom? Stupid stuff like that. But it gets me thinking about it, and going to Target with him was on the top of my list. So it gives me an opportunity to say what I'm grateful for, or excuse me, what the best part of my day was, and then I'll ask him what was the most challenging part of the day. And I'm like, was it almost rolling over, but not quite yet? Was that frustrating? We're so close. We're going to get there. And then I'll ask him, what are you grateful for today? And, of course I'll make some, I'm answering for him, but just having a conversation. And it's been so fun. It's our little time to review the day. And I want to keep doing that so we can do that, around the dinner table when they're older and they can actually give us their answers. Because I don't feel like asking, how was your day? How was school today? It's very there's no depth to it. I remember my parents asking that question, and no offense, mom and dad, I know what you were doing, but a lot of the times I'll just say, it was fine. But I'm trying to make a point to ask more direct questions that you can maybe stir up some more answers to easily. So it's been a fun little nighttime routine. Obviously, he's not talking to me and answering my questions, but it's a fun little one-sided conversation while he's looking at me.
I love that. There's there's a couple of those I think therapists will use every once in a while, and they have different names, a rose and a thorn,
yes.
for 2 highs and a low. What I love about that is parents modeling talking about a challenge. I mean, it's great to talk about high point, and I think that's good, And I think it's good for everybody to hear, but I think it's so important for kids to hear their parents be vulnerable and to model that behavior instead of just sitting there like the Wizard of Oz behind a curtain and demanding you speak to me. How can we show you how to share and create a space that is safe for everybody to talk in and feel supportive and is a conversation. And if it's every day at the dinner table, then it's not a big deal to talk about something is hard, instead of everybody pretending or parents pretending that there's nothing difficult. I love that.
Yes.
I love that you're doing that already.
I know. It's really fun. It's a fun little routine that we have. And it's more so, I think it's really important to say or write down things that you're grateful for, but also to make sure they know. Because if I ask him when he's older, what are you grateful for today? He's going to say something. But if I don't ask him the question of, what was interesting that happened today? Or did something challenging happen that you had to overcome today? I'm never going to know if little Timmy's bullying him and then little Timmy's going to get it. But, you just want to make it sure he can share safely. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Little Timmy's going to watch out.
Little Timmy's going to have people coming at him from a multi-state threat. I just have a couple left. One was sitting on the toilet for a little bit extra.
Just wrote that down, Kailey, and then I was like, I don't.
The number of times where it was chaotic at work, even back at Starbucks, and I would just sit there and just be like, just exhale and unclench and drop my shoulders.
Unclench everything.
Just appreciate the hot water, washing my hands, splash some water on my face, just put my hair back up, just something, just a little me time, just a little beep, because nobody's going to bother you in there. At work. I understand at home with kids, that's probably not true, but at work, most adults aren't going to be like, hey! My favorite ritual is morning pages, which I have started doing thanks to The Artist's Way. She tells you to write 3 pages, unstructured, no editing, don't filter yourself every morning. And it's become kind of tacked onto my coffee ritual. So I do my short workout, even if it's small, just to get up and get moving and keep myself in the habit of getting up. Like today, I did a bullshit 15 minutes on my row machine, but it just kept the momentum going. But then I did my coffee. It just took a second. Yes, the smell's good. I love coffee, just 2 seconds of yay. And then I'll come upstairs and do my morning pages. And I have loved doing them. I feel as though half of our podcast episodes have come out of that. It's weird, the stuff that comes out or the things you work through, or if I wake up with a list in my head, I make myself just write my to-do list because I'm just trying to clear the slate before I go do things for the day. So that has been a delightful routine that I definitely want to keep doing. And same thing of making that an ordeal with lighting a candle, turning on a little bit of music, and setting the scene for myself. And then playing stupid games on my phone. I love to do my Wordle. I love to do my connections. And then the daily mini crossword. They don't always happen right away in the morning, but I love just having the little minute of doing that and sending it out to the couple of people, my couple of group chats, one with Erin, my mom and my aunt, and then another one with my mom and her in-laws. And it's just fun. It's just something little. It's a quick little connection with people that I care about. And it's stupid and superficial, but it's not. It's a fun way to just connect. Yeah. And I'm using my brain a little bit, and I love word games. So thanks, New York Times.
Yep. Shout out.
Last but not least, no TV time. I started doing this much like my stand still and let me hug you. We always watch TV. We do not have a TV in our bedroom. I try to be very conscious a couple minutes before we know we're going to go to bed to turn it off and just be like, it's no TV time, and just cuddle for a minute consciously. And again, exhale, just a couple minutes, and then we go let the dogs out. So just, again, trying to make that cutoff point. It's so easy for us both to just zone out at the TV. I think that's okay because both of us are dealing with people all day, and that's fine. I don't need us to gaze into each other's eyes and, have these huge conversations every night because neither of us have energy for that. But I do enjoy taking that minute to just exhale and be together for a minute without any other input and kind of check back in before we transition to actually going to sleep.
That's sweet. I like that.
And he's gotten used to it too, because I just I'll turn the TV off in the middle of a show if it's close to when I'm ready to go to bed and be like, all right, it's no TV time. I'm glad you're so laid back about my behaviors.
I love that. That's a good idea. I don't know if we'll ever be able to do that at the end of the night, but we do that when we first get home. And then it's usually me with the TV on. That's my alone time at night. And then when I'll turn it off too. And he'll usually wake up. Oh, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
So nice. Well, I'm going to steal some of yours. I like your list, and a few have resonated with me that I don't do yet or that I need to expand upon. So that was fun.
I think it is too. I love making a little ritual, a little whimsy, a little luxury throughout the day, even if it is me buying my name brand whole milk to steam for my morning cappuccino. Just a little something. Anyhow,
Nespresso.
I hope you all... God, Nespresso.
So good.
God, so good. Okay. You could be a sponsor if you wanted to, Nespresso. Okay. On that note, I hope all of you are having a gentle January, and I don't know. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Turkeys.
Beep, boop. Boop,
love
boop,
you. Bye,
boop.
bye.